Yo. What up, man? Here. Yo. Can you hear me? Why can't I hear you? There you are.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? I'm playing, yeah, I'm playing música de la monja.
Pues la música buena.
Yeah, dude, this shit slaps. Alright, let me kick this off. Alright, we're back live on Twitter Spaces and YouTube, episode 407. Got my good friend Abdias here. Abdias, how we doing on Halloween?
Pues un poquito asustado porque ya no les metían la ñonga a las Chivas.
Oh, yeah? Maybe.
The game in the last 20 minutes, bro.
Oh my gatos. Are you talking about the you talking about the one right now today?
Yeah, the one that happened just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. No, it was a scary battle between Querétaro, a man down, and I don't think Paunovic has learned his mistakes from last season in the final, trying to protect the 2-goal lead.
I don't think so either.
Today he just parked the bus at like with 30 minutes left, took out his best players, and then a sufrir.
It's okay, wait, did you start having like flashbacks from la final? And you're like, puta
Absolutely.
Madre, here we go again.
I've been here before. It happens to me every night in FIFA. I don't know what it is about FIFA and anyone that still plays FIFA, but when you play, man, there's always that script of a comeback. I always end up drawing games or losing them last minute. And, with Chivas and their track record of closing out games, a better opponent would have beaten Chivas today easily.
Easily. Chivas was not in form. Your best player was Piojo Alvarado.
I know. And he scored off a PK.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the officiating tonight. It was all over the place. I do think that it was a PK, but I also felt that Querétaro were denied a PK. I did see some handball action, and overall,
It hit his leg first, bro. It hit his leg.
I yeah, I still think that um the refereeing tonight was atrocious. You know, with the yellow card, with the first yellow card that Ricardo Marin got, the referee just wasn't consistent with his with giving them out. There was a play leading up to that, a Chivas counterattack. There was a foul. He let it play on, but that was like a straight up yellow card. And then Marin gets a yellow card, then he gets another one. So I think the referee was a little cheap on the yellow cards today. He was la estaba cobrando baratas.
Was no mames, güey, ¿qué más quieres? Like, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I felt like it was even across the board. All right, yeah, was he playing a little bit closer to the rule book? He was. Pero un pisotón es un pisotón, güey. Like, eso no te
Yeah.
lo quita nadie.
And you know what? When I saw the replay, I'm like, dude, he didn't even touch him, right? Because like they were showing like him like kind of like having his arm out. Then I realized that the foul was the foot. He stepped on him. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely a yellow card worth sending off. And Paunovic at the end, he did not look happy. He like kicked one of the microphones, and I'm sure he's blowing them up in the locker room. One thing to note that I thought was interesting is they have reincorporated Raul Martinez, Chicote Calderon, and Alexis Vega. However, Alexis Vega has not traveled with the team, and I wonder if that is part of his punishment. Because of his shenanigans against Toluca, like he's not allowed to travel with the team and stay in the hotels.
I believe that's called foreshadowing. They're just, that's it, man. They're just slightly doing away with him.
Yeah,
And it might be one of those things like, wait, we can't trust you on La Casa Club. How can we trust you on the road?
yeah, I think it's just one of those things where he lost his privileges to travel with the team. He's like under house arrest.
Wait, it's like when you cheat and your girl doesn't let you go out anymore. Like, we understand it. It happens. You just gotta lie to her that much harder.
I plead the fifth on that one, dog.
Please fifth on that one.
Uh, nah, absolutely not. As far as taking a step back, looking at the weekend, Chivas having to play in El Estadio Jalisco because they loaned out El Estadio Akron to my favorite artist, Abel Tesfaye, better known as The Weekend. So they had to play in El Jalisco, and I'm not going to lie, aside from the paliza that they received, the 4-0 defeat, it was cracking in El Jalisco, man. Those are the fucking vibes that should be at every single Chivas game.
Well, it's always been the argument of El Jalisco is more centrally located versus El Acron está en Calamadre.
Yep.
¿Verdad? You have to take like what 4 buses to get there, and es todo un pinche pedo. Y luego parking también es bien ojete. Todo, güey. Todo el Acron nomás no funciona. ¿Por qué? Porque el Acron es un failed project. Much like Chivas. It's nothing more than a failed project. Because
Yeah.
it was supposed to be a shopping center, it was supposed to be hotel zone, it was supposed to be all of these things. Once again, like the backbone of Mexico that Chivas is supposed to be, it's not there.
Yeah, I see some overall theme here with Chivas is they're like, fake champs. They're like fool's gold, and
Mm-hmm.
they've been a former shell of themselves for a long time now. And I'm not convinced that this team, although they're still on pace to qualify for Liga, this is not a team that is going to go pretty far. I don't think.
Wait, no mames, Cruz Azul's on pace to qualify for Liga.
Where are you guys at now? I know you guys got a victory over the weekend, right? Or
Yeah, we're still pretty down there. I think we're like in 14th. You know what? Let
you
me
guys are in
let me
17th.
get some facts involved in here.
Yeah, you guys are 17th position with
17th.
14 points, 14 games.
Hey, that's a 1-to-1 ratio, bro. My KDR is doing pretty fucking good. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Yeah, estamos en el sótano, pero no hay pedo, güey. There's time to move forward. All right. We have a couple more. We have 4 more seasons. 4 more seasons. 4 more games. Tomorrow should be a pretty easy one.
Who do you guys got?
So we have Santos.
Juarez.
Juarez. Shit, my bad. Yeah, we got Juarez. And Juarez has been on a downslope. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
They were like the dark horse, remember? Like starting out the season and then they that they've galloped all the way down to 10th position, which is crazy. They've actually lost 4 out of their last 5 matches. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to get up in the play-in zone, so to speak. You know, it's pretty pathetic that a team in 17th position with just one victory can get into the can get into the play-in, dog. Like that's all it takes is just 3 points, dude. Oh man, that's hilarious.
Welcome to a close league, my dear good sir. Fucking MLS over here is doing 3 games series, which is a whole nother fucking debacle that
What?
we'll talk about later.
Hopefully Habibi joins us tonight because he's got to explain that one to me. 3 games? What the hell?
I can explain it to you right now, but yeah, let's wait for more people to hop on the MLS fans, porque no mames, güey, es una pendejada. Mejor dame el global y el de visitante y ahí estamos. Like, bro, I swear, man, fucking white people come up with the dumbest shit.
Yeah, they do. Like
Los pinches gringos.
Ed Sheeran, man, they created that. I think I'd rather hear grass grow than listen to Ed Sheeran.
That and Swifties, bro. Like, I'll die on my grave before I ever go to a Taylor Swift concert. Like, when I was in Seattle that weekend, there was a big game happening at the T-Mobile Stadium, and Taylor Swift was happening at the same time. I had tickets, and I was like, nope, chinguen a su madre. I'm going to avoid it at the best that I can. It
Nice.
was the Mariners versus the Blue Jays, and I was like, nah, bro, you can't pay me enough to be around that fucking hellhole.
Yeah, for sure. We had so some action over the weekend, you know, starting with Necaxa 1-0 victory over Pumas. Chino Huerta got a straight red, um, which is unfortunate. There was like a meme going around that this like blonde chick like grabbed his arm and cursed him. And then they also found that blonde chick talking to este ¿cómo se llama Checo Perez, like the F1 driver?
Yeah,
And he
y
also
también,
yeah, dude.
no mames, güey. Like, wow, we're
Dude,
bringing in
the white
Checo in
devil,
here.
bro.
That's it, man. Just, I get it. You go white, your credit score goes up. Pero también, güey, what's the trade-off?
Like I remember Yael Padilla after he had his incredible, impressive debut. You know, 2 games back to back scoring. He posted on his social media like going on a date with some light skinned Mexican chick, and then like his career after
One of
that.
those fake blondes.
Yeah, it just tanked from there, dude. Don't trust those fake blondes that are from Mexico, dude. Look at Alan Pulido,
Wait,
right? He had to divorce his wife.
have you heard the audio clips coming out about her?
Oh my
About
god, dude! Like she didn't want to work, and she's like,
And she's like, o sea, güey, no mames. Like, yo sabía. No está guapo, pero tiene dinero.
I'm like,
It's just like,
bro. She's like,
wait,
yeah.
that's just gotta be Yankee, and I don't think it is.
See, if I was a coach in Mexico, like I would stick to like being a youth coach, and I would literally have a dedicated presentation to this shit. Be like, look, you guys are young, you're gonna get very famous, you're gonna be successful, you're gonna have a lot of money. These are the pitfalls you need to avoid. Number one, the white devil, the she devil, right there. Number one, that's the one. No, that's the first one, dude. Number two
Mira,
is your best friend is gonna be your worst enemy because he's gonna want you to sneak out of the clubhouse, go party, do naughty things, and then you're gonna get caught up in that life.
that's it, man. Like, mira, prieta pero de barrio. Eso es lo que quieres. ¿Verdad? Las pinches interesadas.
Leal, leal, man.
A las que puedes maltratar y como que ahí se van a estar. Um, los que saben.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Porque no, güey. Like, I heard those videos and I was like, a couple things. One, it sounded like all of the basic chicks that I dated from Mexico in the past.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude, I missed that bullet. Like, I'm so happy. And two, I was just like, ching, the poor guys that they end up with. Like,
Yeah, she went from like Alan Pulido to some dude that plays at Pumas, no? And he's just like, wow.
mm-hmm.
She's
And
like,
before that, she was like with some dude over in Miami, I believe.
oh, and also Canelo was in that too.
Yep. So
Yeah.
like,
Confirmed by my taxi driver in Guadalajara. I talked
damn, güey, el pinche taxista
yeah.
sabe más de todo.
I talked about it before, but after the Chivas match over there in Akron, the only way out of the stadium is they don't do Uber, they don't do ride shares. You have to walk really far. So all the taxis have like a grip there. And yeah, I hopped in the taxi and he's like, yeah, dude, I've driven all these dudes around. Pulido was my last one. He was dating that chick and he asked me to like keep an eye on her while he went to sign some paperwork like in Kansas City. And he's like, yeah, just let me know if like Canelo shows up. So he stalked outside her house for like 2 days, like keeping an eye on her, making sure she didn't leave the house and like looking for Canelo. Fucking
Pero sí,
hilarious.
güey, ¿qué le va a hacer Alan Pulido a Canelo?
Shit. I mean, he got kidnapped before,
¿Decirle
dog. He's
perdón?
got hands.
Bro, against Canelo hands? No mames.
That's true.
Canelo's gonna fuck him up.
That is
Vas a
true.
ver, güey. Llega Canelo, he's gonna walk out with that, yeah, and I just fuck your bitch energy, y Alan le va a pedir perdón. Like, no, güey, I'm sorry, big dog. I'm sorry, that's yours. I'm sorry I stretched it out. Like,
Yeah, that's hilarious. Man. Going back to the results real quick. So Necaxa again beating
pero espérate,
Pumas.
espérate, espérate.
What?
Espérate, no. Te estás adelantando, güey.
Huh?
You still got to go a couple days back, and I got to hear this apology.
No. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna go over the Jornada 14 results, and then we'll talk about Santi because I definitely
Está
have.
bueno.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Serenito, serenito, porque no, güey. We're not gonna brush this one over, eh?
No, absolutely. Mazatlan took care of business against Querétaro 3-0. That puts them in, where are they? 12th position. So on the bubble, might get a play in. Who knows? Cruz Azul taking care of business against León 1-0. Angel Sepúlveda. I didn't catch that match. I don't know if you did.
I got a little bit once again dealing with illegal streams and everything else. It was a pretty good match. I'm gonna be honest with you. Cruz Azul was just consistent. Um, what's it called? I believe it was Santos. This weekend was Santos who we played, and honestly, man, Santos just had a shit game. Their defense was horrible. Cruz Azul had a couple good shots on. It's I'll take it. Shit, pero it's not like El Poderosísimo is back. No. That's gonna happen with Chivas.
Puebla and Pachuca tied 1-1. Not really much to say there. Did talk a little bit about Tigres, Guadalajara. I love Jalisco, Estadio Jalisco. It's much closer downtown, easy to get to. All the bomb ass food is there. El ambiente is there, and even despite the 4-0 beat down, the stadium was popping, jumping, and uh, you know, so they could feel embarrassed about their performance. I think that should be the message there. It's like, look at that, man. We were supporting y'all for 90 minutes, and you guys couldn't even score a goal in front of your home fans. And I think the one that hurt the most out of all the goals, Diego Lainez, golazo, but then Marcelo Flores, bro. Like, you let Marcelo Flores score against you.
Y también, güey, fue un pinche golazo, eh? Like it's not like, oh yeah, no, you just tapped it in like you guys did earlier for your second goal. Like, no way. It was a hell of a goal. He was hauling ass down the flank. Y hasta se tiró en midair, right? It, it was a great goal.
Yeah, and his celebration after was pretty cool. He did like a freaking Matrix like I don't know, it was a pretty cool goal celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll show up on FIFA. And also, man, he got cornrows, bro. He got that energy, dog. He got that evil
He got the
energy.
he got the Black Air Force One energy.
It's like, dude, it's like this guy was a Canadian, English, Mexican playing in Arsenal. Now he's hood, bro.
Wait, that's what happens when you go to Monterrey. Like Monterrey's pretty fucking hood, depending on where you are.
Yeah, dude, he came out gangsta. Now now that he's opened up the checkbook, I believe that's his first goal in Liga MX. So, kudos to him. We'll see how he continues to develop. I forgot how stacked the Tigres are on the bench. They have like Herrera, Flores, Lainez, freaking Cordova. I mean, bro, they just have so many players that should be starters anywhere else. But at Tigres, they're backup players, they're role players.
They didn't even play Guignac at all, and your shit still got pushed in.
I know he got, I think, sent off for the first time, so we got lucky there. The game that I thought was the most interesting over the weekend was Rayados versus America. Rayados scored all three goals in the first half within a half hour. But the real controversy in that match was Gallardo apparently threatening Brian Rodriguez. And in a freak accident, he ended up getting injured. And I believe he's done for the rest of the season. After the match, uh, Johnny Two Saints, Jonathan Dos Santos, said that it was mala leche.
I love that saying, bro. I fucking love the saying of mala leche. Pero neta, way, I don't think so. I don't think it was a mala leche hit. Like, let's be honest. We've all been playing, y cuando te empicas y andas para atrás y para adelante, you'll say some shit like, síguele, cabrón, eh? Síguele, vas a ver lo que te va a pasar. How many times have you not said that on the pitch?
Yeah.
So, look, man, it happened. Like you said yourself, it was a freak accident. It's just the way that they fell on top of each other. Let's be honest. We've all seen the replay. Do you see a deliberate
It was
grab of the ankle?
it was awkward, dude. It was an awkward freak accident. Let me play the audio from what Johnny said. And that's crazy because, Jonathan Dos Santos, I mean, he's not, part of the national team anymore, but they are comrades, him and Gallardo. So I don't know, man.
I don't. I'm. Wait, no va a pasar nada. Es un pinche jugada futbolística. Now, if it would have been like sin balón, sin nada de eso, okay, we get it, right? At that point, that's what it is. Now, the thing that's coming about is that apparently uno de los auxiliares was like, tar- insinuating targeting of players.
Oh,
Very similar to what happened with the Saints back in the day,
interesting.
right? So that's what's kind of coming to light. That is like, pues, they told him to go out there and rough him up,
Oh, like a
and
mercenary.
now, mm-hmm. Which, come on, bro, that's what a good coach does for you. They're like, yo, you know what? I want you to go out there and earn me a hard earned yellow. Just a hard yellow. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking you to hurt someone, pero ¿sabes qué, güey? Que sepan que estás aquí y que esta es nuestra casa. And if you haven't had a coach to teach you that, your coaches have failed you.
Yeah, true story. I don't know if you ever seen that movie Coach Carter. It was
I haven't.
oh,
Denzel? No, Samuel, right?
Samuel Jackson was the coach. It was a high school out here in the Bay Area, Richmond High School. Anyways, we ended up playing them in soccer for like our tournament here, and our coach, you know, said it without saying it, but he says, "Hey, like, take this dude out." And our biggest dude, within the first like minute of the game, like they go for a header, he just like elbows the shit out of this guy. And that's it, bro. They put him on a stretcher. He was done. Literally the first minute of the and Richmond's rough, dog. It's in the hood. And yeah, those fans were not happy to the point where our bus was like pulled up, ready to go. As soon as the game was over, because we ended up winning, they said run to the bus. And we ran to the bus, dog, because they started throwing rocks at us and started to, really like threaten
Getting
us, dude.
booed.
Yeah, we had to get escorted by police. It was crazy, dude. But it does happen in sports, man. Like, hey, like this is our mark. Take them out. Sweep the
Oh, just
leg.
like
Sweep the leg.
that's exactly it. Just like back in the day when it happened with the Saints, and I was like, "Oh, targeting this and that." I was like, "The fuck is wrong with you guys?" This is part of the game. Like, yo, this is their best player. I want you to go after him. I don't want you to hurt him, but I want for your presence to be known.
Yeah. And
And if you
what's crazy about this whole thing is they investigated it. They found out there was no foul play involved, and they fined Jonathan Dos Santos for his remarks.
don't forget, they also find Big Papi Televisa as well because they broke the rules as well. They allowed press into a no press area. They allowed the players to speak outside of the locker rooms. So
I don't know about that
of
because they're,
course,
they're they're getting onto the bus. Like I've been in that scenario after the match. They're supposed to let you into the locker room to do interviews or if they have a press conference. And then as they're leaving and heading onto the bus, I mean, if you can catch a stray, you can catch a stray. There's no rule against that. Like if they want to talk, they don't have to. They're not obligated to talk to the press at that point, but if they want to say something, they can say something.
I thought the whole issue was that they were still like technically within the locker rooms. Porque cuando habló Brian, it's not so much about the Dos Santos one. It's when or Brian gives his comment.
Oh, no, I didn't see that one actually.
You haven't seen the one from Brian
No.
where he said desde el principio del juego, ¿verdad? Me estaba diciendo que si seguía dando patadas y seguía haciendo esto que me iban a
Oh,
tronar.
yeah, I did see that actually. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Okay.
Y ahora aquí estamos. And it's
Damn.
like, well, the fuck do you expect?
Yeah. I think the messed up part is, that at the end of the day, these guys are humans and this is their job. So, it's like in WWE, right? Like you could seriously like hurt someone, break their freaking arm. Like it's that easy, but you don't do it because the guy's got a family. But I don't know, dude. It's one of those things. Hopefully, Ricardo can hop on later and give us his perspective of things.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. Porque, como dije, I didn't see it as a mala leche hit. Even even the hockey one that just happened a couple days. If you
I
notice
don't
the
know
hip
about that
check
one,
that goes
Chief.
in,
I don't know about
it's
that
a
one,
hip
Chief.
check. Have you seen it? It's a hip check, and the dude goes off balance. Like he's coming in, he does a hip check, and then he goes off balance.
Dude, I've never seen a dude have his skate in someone's neck before, dog. That's a fucking finishing move in Mortal Kombat, dog.
That it is. But like I said, man, let's be honest with you. How much hockey do you watch?
I do catch it from time to time. I'm actually going on Saturday.
Oh, pa
Yeah,
que veas. No, man. Like I used to go out to the Kraken games all the time,
the Kraken.
right? I even used to go to the lower leagues and watch the Seattle Thunderbirds play. And let's
Oh,
be honest, which is what it was, the lower leagues, you don't have the cleanest checks. You don't have the best players
yeah,
out
still
there.
gritty.
So therefore, a hip check where the guy loses balance, it's it's understandable. I'm not gonna say that it was fucking attempted murder on the field, but I can see it when you slow it
Yeah,
down and you look at it. It's the player coming in for a hip check, and then shit goes wrong.
yeah. I think with like the Gallardo situation, it's unfortunate that it happened, but it is a little bit suspicious after, with the whole bickering and the kind of foreshadowing of that event and it ends up happening. Um, Either way, America won 3-0 and they are still on top. 33 points in 14 matches. So they are doing really well. They'll be playing San Luis tomorrow, who kind of fell off as well. Their last 5 matches, they've had 4 defeats. So San Luis and Juarez both with that same weird streak where they started off hot and then fell off.
Pero también Gallardo has said it is like, yo, I've reached out to him, right? Like, I didn't talk to him porque también los de América andaban calientes, ¿eh? Y lo querían ir a encontrar
Oh
en los
yeah, for sure,
vestidores.
dude.
Like, they were gonna fuck him up. So his people were like, yo, don't even talk to him, not right now. Like, let's not do this. After the game, Gallardo has stated, is like, I've reached out, phone calls, messages, social media.
Hmm.
He hasn't returned any of my
No, I wouldn't.
advancements.
I bet you Henry Martin is gonna take him out in the next friendly, Mexico friendly. So hey man, do me a solid, take him out for me.
Fuck him
Uh
up.
Fuck him up. Grab his weenie.
That regrésasela, güey, regrésasela.
Oh man. Toluca beats San Luis 3-1, but the big news with Toluca, they got rid of Nacho Ambriz, man. Why? Why would you do that?
I heard a little bit of chismes on that.
A
So
ver.
the thing that happened was there was a sit down meeting with the board of directors and the presidencia, and it's like, Nacho, you're in eighth place. What's going on?
Hmm.
Y pues se calentaron y hincharon los huevos,
Ay,
and it
güey.
became a shouting match. And they told him, pues si así lo quieres, te me vas.
Sheesh.
And that's what was said and done. So they
With
fired
3
him
games left,
with
bro.
3 games left. Wait, like, so that's the thing.
Oh.
Es que se les hincharon los huevos a los de los dos lados y dijeron, no, cabrón, yo soy el jefe y me respetas y sabes
Ay,
qué,
güey.
te me vas.
Real quick, just 2 goals just came in. Pumas scored against Leon, 48th minute, and then Rayados against Necaxa. Rayados just scored their opening goal, 1-0 over there in their stadium. So those are live results as we're podcasting. That is really unfortunate with Nacho Ambriz. This guy who won everything with Leon. Then he goes and gives it a chance in Europe. Has to go to the second division. Doesn't go that well. Then he comes back to Toluca, and I'm not gonna lie, man. They give him some solid reinforcements, and yeah, he just hasn't been able to get Toluca. I don't know. I feel like they fall short.
They do. They do. But come on, wait. No mames. Like, Nacho Ambriz resurrected Toluca. Because before him, they weren't doing hot.
Nope.
They were bottom half of the table consistently.
Yep.
And then he came and he put new life in it. They redid the stadium, everything that happened around Toluca. And now Toluca, let's be honest, man, they're a contender consistently.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I like
that's the power of
Volpe.
Nacho.
I like Volpe, man. I like Marcelo Reese or Marcel Reese. I like these guys, man. They got some great talent there.
And they got grit to them. That's my favorite thing, man. Like, cuando están jugando en casa y el estadio está lleno, güey, no mames.
Yeah,
Like,
they got
these
some good
dudes
vibes
are
there.
fucking unbeatable and they're willing to come make a remontada. And,
Yeah.
like, dude, there's very few teams that I actually respect within the Mexican League, especially when it's a game against Cruz Azul. And Toluca is one of them. Because I grew up, like, in early 2000s, that rivalry between Cruz Azul and Toluca was at its max,
Yep.
and it was just fucking ball out
And La
games
Bombonera
every
was
time.
intimidating, dog. Like I had nightmares of those matches. Like I remember we'd always get matched up with Toluca and Liguilla, and it was a guaranteed L, bro, every fucking time.
Mm-hmm. That was the one, and you were like, puta madre, güey, contra Toluca, ¿no?
Yeah, it
Los Diablos
was.
no las
Yep.
pinche chorizo power, as they say.
it was literally hell, it was literally hell in the Bombonera, and the fans just like on full effect, no shirt, just crazy, crazy vibes there. Yeah, so
I
they
mean,
got they got the victory against San Luis, but then they lost today against Puebla, and Carlos Morales is their coach now.
yeah, the dude from their lower leagues is coming up. And it's like, I get it. You know the club. We got 3 games left. Let's do this. But you're definitely going to be playing in Liga, my dear good sir. Like, the fuck was the idea behind this?
Yeah, I would say you chalk it up at the end of the season. Hey, respectively, we're just gonna go a separate way. But to do it now, dude, it's like I think it was a bad
And
mood, bad
and
move.
even the press release that came out was, we have chosen to seize the project of Nacho Ambriz. It was like that language was harsh. It wasn't like we wish him on his best endeavors and this and that. It was like, nope. Just like with the Cruz Azul one, not a couple coaches ago. It's Cruz Azul. It's a revolving door. But también, where they were like, we have chosen to seize his project, and it's like, damn, way, like, was it going that bad? Answer: yes.
So
So,
I got mixed up. I thought it was Carlos Morales, Ramon Morales' brother, but this is Carlos Maria Morales. So different coach. Yeah, from Uruguay. I remember him, man. That guy was great for Chiva, for Toluca.
and he was coaching I think, la juvenil, verdad? So,
Yep.
like, sub 17, sub 23. He was coaching them, and then now it's time for him to come in.
Well, good for him. We'll see how he does. Like I mentioned today, they lost against Puebla 1-0. Super Camote power in full effect. They are in 14th position, but that doesn't really mean much in Liga MX. A win there, you're in the play-in. So we'll see how things shape up for Toluca, how they bounce back from this defeat. Tijuana beat Atlas 2-0. Tijuana is one of those teams I've kind of like forgotten about. They won their title like 10 years ago, and they're still here, I guess. But they're not a team that I've ever really respected or thought as a threat.
Oh, you mean Chivas syndrome? I get it. Like, it's the same thing. They turn off, they come back every now and then. Now, the thing that was impressive about Cholos is the fact that they won it the year that they came back from relegation. So it was that big of a hype of the fact of, like, oh shit, this is a relegation team who came in hot and won over here.
Hmm.
And so it's a beautiful story. Same thing with Leon, right? The only
Yeah.
difference is Leon has been consistent.
And Piojo's over there at Tijuana. I think that's the only like saving grace for them. Keeps it
No,
keeps it
he's not.
spicy. No?
No, bro, he was fired a while ago.
I thought he was fired, but he's still there, dude.
Is he?
Yeah, I thought he was fired too.
No mames. I read the communication. He's gone.
No, dude, he's still there. Cause like I thought he was gone too. But he I remember when I think Chivas played him. I'm like, wait, he's there? Yeah, he's there, dude. Um,
Wow, he is still the head coach. ¿Qué pedo, güey? No mames. Pues estoy pendejo, apparently, because
no, dude, I honestly thought the same thing. I remember them having like like a statement released out. Like unless I'm hallucinating, but I remember I was like, dude, he got canned. But no, he didn't. He didn't get canned. He's still there.
you know what, man? In the age of deep fakes, quién sabe, pero
Yeah. Yeah. Tuca Ferretti has found a new gig. He's going to be replacing David Faikeson on ESPN Deportes, which I cannot wait. I'm looking forward to that.
I will say that, you know what? That's a good fit for him because he can be the grumpy old man that he's always been
Absolutely.
and just fucking bang on the table, which is my favorite thing. Oh my god, bro! That press conference, the one that last press conference that he had at Cruz Azul, where he just went off. I was like, "Senor, just talk to him like that all the time."
I like that old school press conference where he was telling everybody the rules. He's like, "Las damas, first." He's like, "You make your rules at my home, I make my rules here." And then he just starts ramping up. And he ends up leaving. He ends up leaving. He has a huge bitch fit and just like leaves the presser. I'm like, that's a classic Duca press conference right there.
The cállese carajo,
Cállese carajo.
bro. It's so good. Like you listen to that whole press conference and you're instantly transported back to being a small kid with your dad yelling at you. It's just like, ah, man, I fucked up somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, well, look,
I
we're 40 minutes in. I do want to give Santi Jimenez his flowers because from our last podcast, he had his Champions League debut. He played against the legitimate opponent, Serie A Lazio, and he scored 3 times. One of them was disallowed, but he did score. And I'm like, all right, dude, that's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to hear. I'll give him his flowers, bro. I'll give him his flowers.
but I feel there's a but. Where is it? A ver,
No, there's no but. I think
¿qué
what
es
it
el
all right,
pero?
this is what I realized. I did not hate Santi Jimenez. I hated his fans. I think that's what it was. And I could not dissociate between the two. So
I don't know, man. I think it's because it's güerito privilegiado. Is that the problem?
nah,
Do
it
you
has
want the
nothing to do.
Mexican striker to be a darky?
Has nothing to do with him being a blonde, blue-eyed Argentinian. Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with the fact that he's hijo de papi. You know, it has nothing to do with that. I think he's great. He's a solid player. My frustrations with him obviously is like all the things that he's doing in Europe have not translated to the national team, and that is where I criticize him because if he's as good as everyone's saying he is, if he's scoring, stacking up his pad, padding up his stats, like, but then not doing it in the national team against arguably inferior opponents like Qatar, Germany was a good test for him, and he looked like a kid out there. So that's my criticism with him. Um, I don't know. I don't know what's going to look like him for the national team, right? You have Quinones coming in, and it seems like Jimmy Lozano still rates Raul and Henry over him. So he's lower on the pecking order when he comes to Mexico. It's weird.
It is, man. Now just wait until he does that one-time switch to Argentina y van a ver cómo les va a doler.
He can't. He already played an official match.
You can still do a one-time switch.
I don't think so. I think once you debut for the national team, that's it, dog. Like
Bro,
in an official like he played in the Gold Cup.
that's what happened with shit. El de America that now plays for the US.
Zendejas?
Yeah.
Zendejas never played in an official tournament.
I don't know, man. We're gonna have to look this one up.
I'm
I'm
looking it up
pretty
right
sure
now.
you can still do the one-time switch, and then
Uh,
that's it.
what are the rules for a one-time switch? Yeah, I from my understanding, it says FIFA's eligibility rules allow a player to switch their national team allegiance only once with few specific exceptions. You must hit the following criteria. They must have played no more than 3 competitive matches at senior level for their first country. None of which were in the final tournament of a FIFA World Cup or Confederation competition.
Well, ese es mi gallo y se queda mexicano. So, ¿qué pedo?
Yeah. Yeah. So like he already played obviously more than 3 competitive matches and he already played in a Confederation competition. So yeah, he's not allowed to play for Argentina. You know what I think is interesting though is after he scored those goals in the Champions League, they start throwing out these numbers on transfer market. You know, he went from 40 million and Feyenoord wants 100 million. I'm like, all right, those are some crazy numbers, dog. Like, let's calm the fuck down. 100 million. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Dude, but we had this discussion earlier in the transfer window. The new norm. Holy fuck! It is snowing. My bad, bro. I just looked out my windows and
It's
it's snowing
snowing?
out here.
Damn, son.
Yeah, yeah. Well, welcome to the Midwest, right? Um, yeah, like it's an investment in the future. That's the thing. It's not like what he is now, which what he is now is a great prospect who's having consistency. But what's coming down the line can be a world class player, and an investment is well worth it. All right. Let's be honest. What's the standard going right now for a player?
For a
50,
striker,
60, right?
I would say based on what he's accomplished so far, I think 40 to 50 is the floor. As far as the ceiling, unless he starts scoring some more Champions League goals, like against some legitimate opponents, maybe they win the league again this year. 80? Because you got to realize he's Mexican, bro. We're not worth that much. If he was straight up Argentinian and he was playing for Argentina, that is where I get the 100 for. And it's fucked up because if he was a different nationality, 100% he'd be worth the 100 million. But he's not. He's Mexican. We are still an unproven commodity in Europe, in the eyes of the world. And I think our most expensive transfer was Chucky, right? 50 million.
Yep. But I'm gonna take Habibi's line, and it's like, but he's not Mexican. The same reason why he can't play with Chivas is the reason why he should have the pedigree, right? So maybe that's what they're looking at. And then they're looking, like I said, once again, the pedigree. Hey, who's his dad? What did his dad do? His dad is a South American legend, not even the Americas in general,
Is he though?
both South and North America. I mean, he took Cruz Azul to a Club World Cup.
I think he's a Mexican, like hero or legend, like within Liga MX. But outside of Liga MX, like he didn't play for. I mean, I guess he played for Boca in his early career.
And then what he did in Argentina,
What did he do in
no mames, boy.
Argentina?
He won championships with Boca. He won championships with, I want to say that he was with Estudiantes. I need to see, but
He
dude, he
won.
has,
Okay, with Boca, he won. Oh shit, he won one, two, three leagues and 2 Libertadores.
yeah, exactly. Wait, so no mames.
But
Like
you
the
know, he's not
pedigree
like.
is there.
I guess I don't know about all that.
See, wait, you just hating on Santi because you don't know the backstory.
Well, it's because like, dude, Argentina shits legends and heroes, dude. Like they shit them out, dude. Like it's like popcorn. They're just like po 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 po. You know, it's like you can't keep up with how much talent there is in Argentina. And you know, Chaco, I think like in Mexico, he's considered like he's a respected, but in the eyes of like, I mean, he never really played for the national team. He only played for the U20. So how good was he? And then he ended up playing for Mexico. He ended up switching. So
It's that same thing, bro. How much talent does Argentina put out where you're fucking one of your 3-time Libertadores winners doesn't make it? Comes to Mexico, la rompe, no mames, güey. When la primera vez que se puso la verde, I wanted to cry. And I was like, that's my man right there. So I'll support his son to the death. You hear me? And that's not because I'm a dick rider. It's just they're doing pretty well. The two of them.
I'm looking at data, not opinions, data. The most expensive transfer was obviously Chucky Lozano. Number 2 was Raul Jimenez from Benfica to Wolverhampton, 38 million euros. And then Jesus Corona from Porto to Sevilla was 25. And then Edson Alvarez for 20 from America to Ajax. And then you have, you know, I have a few out there. Hector Herrera, 16 million from Porto to Atletico Madrid. So historically, dude, we just have not gone for big bucks. And yes, I understand inflation. So I would say Santi right now, 40's fair. I think if he continues to be having a great season, I think he could get up to like the 60 to 80. But 100, man, 100, he would have to be scoring a hat trick every single game.
It's a prospect for the future, man. That's what you got to understand. It's just like an investment, right? Like shit. Are you a day trader?
No, that's Habibi.
All right. Well, no, just in general. Are you in your personal portfolio? Do you day trade or do you sit on stock?
I hold.
Exactly. And that's what it is. It's an investment. I'm not in it for a short payoff. I'm in it to retain him for the next 4 or 5 years. And then I'm going to sell him.
Yeah.
Develop him, and then he's going to go on.
Disco Fever, yeah, said Feyenoord will want to break the Dutch transfer record easily. I wonder I'm going to look it up right now.
I think it's 90, 80, which is the transfer record now.
Anthony?
Yeah. I think that was the one.
Wow. That's a tough one. Oh my God. So Anthony, 100 million euros to Manchester United. That was last year in 2022. And then Virgil van Dijk to Liverpool was 85. Then you've had Frankie de Jong and Matheus de Ligt both going for 75. So yeah, man, those are some.
The other thing that you need to understand is the rivalry between Feyenoord and Ajax.
Oh, really?
Oh, bro, huge between the two. That's why Feyenoord is like, nah, fuck them. We want the money. We want to be number one because Ajax has it. Like I said, I've told you guys before, there's only 3 big teams in the Eredivisie, and that's Ajax, Feyenoord, and PSV.
Hmm.
Those are the 3 giants. So it's like, wait, son como los regios, right? Who's gonna pay more money for a player? Pues aquellos trajeron a Guiñac y a Tubán y siguen trayendo a gente. Y los regios, los rayados, siguen poniendo feria también. That's the mentality. That's them. They have their own beef going on in the background.
Yeah, you're right. Ajax, the most successful Dutch club, 36 titles. They obviously won the Champions League as well 4 times. PSV's won it 24 times, the league. And they've also won the Champions League once. Feyenoord won it 16 times. They have not won a Champions League, but they have won the Europa League twice. And Feyenoord are known for their passionate fans and their rivalry against Ajax.
Basically, I've learned about all this.
You've done your research.
I have. And you know what, bro? Just like you said, a lot of it comes from FIFA. Because I love starting off my dude in the Mexican league, moving him to the Dutch league.
Rest in
and
peace.
just learning the Dutch league. I know, bro. That's why I refuse to upgrade. Refuse to. Like, if Liga MX isn't there, it's not worth it. It's a shit game either way. Because it's just a repackage.
Yeah, dude. FIFA 22 was the last one. They had Liga MX, and I would do the same thing. Start out my career in Liga MX, and then try to go from there. And can't do that anymore, man.
So heartbreaking.
Konami.
Fucking Konami, though. Although the scans that they have of the stadiums are beautiful.
Which stadiums are in there? I know Azteca's in there, right? And Akron?
Azteca, Akron, BBVA.
Oh, really?
Pues, el de Cruz Azul, Sol Azteca todavía. And I can't remember because let's be honest, Pro Evolution Soccer became such a hot piece of shit.
Yep. It's not even called that anymore. It's eFootball.
Yeah. And it's because they went to like a live service.
They did like a freemium thing where it's like you don't have to buy the game, but you have to buy all the add-ons and stuff.
Yeah, which I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, first off, the gameplay is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, why am I gonna shell out money for a shit product?
And they have like not all the licensing, so some teams are there, some aren't. It's a terrible project, and I'm sure they paid Liga MX a lot of money.
Exactly, but like, and that's one of those things. Is like, is the exposure even worth it? Right? Because what exposure do you get?
I mean, I get it, FIFA, dude.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah, I get it. It's like in EA's eyes, like Liga MX was just not. They didn't care about them. Nobody had faces. They didn't have any stadiums. So like obviously, if Konami is like offering you the red carpet and all this stuff, and they're actually gonna like cater to you, like I can understand it from a business perspective. But it's like no one's gonna play your game anymore. Like, yeah, it's unfortunate.
No one's gonna learn about your league.
Yeah,
because if you watch any YouTubers that do FIFA, they'll tell you the best league to start off in is the Mexican league for any type of development. Right? So it's just one of those things. I was like, damn, bro, it hurts at the heart.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Haven't bought it this year. I don't think I will. We have Disco Fever. Yeah. Says Santi has a contract until 2027 with no transfer release clause. Feyenoord can ask for anything they want. The sky is the limit.
That's the plan, my guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, realistically, do you think he will leave at the end of the season?
I think so. Because there was big momentum to him leaving at the end of last season. Everyone was clamoring for him. And they re-signed him. He stayed, and he said, "It's like I want to stay another year here and be the best that I can."
Yeah.
Right? And plus, transferring con un doblete, no mames, way. Like, oh shit, you had a new striker who came into your team, and you guys were back-to-back champions. That just increases his value so much more.
He won a Gold Cup with Mexico. He's now playing in Champions League. So he's smart for, wanting to have a sophomore season in Feyenoord. Let's have some fun. Let's throw out some clubs. Where would you like Santi to end up?
Ooh. Shit, bro. I don't want him to go to a big club. So like,
Why?
you know, bro, and it's one of those things. Is like the pressure.
Ah,
The pressure will be too big, and the Mexican media will eat him up as a fracaso, fracaso, fracaso.
that's that mental midgety. I can't have that, man.
Nah, bro. Like, I would love for him to go to an Atletico, right? Go there, play with the big boys, learn it. Once you have it, go to the EPL, go to the Bundesliga. Shit, I would love to see him in the Bundesliga, actually. I think like a Dortmund would be really good fit. You know what? Yeah, Dortmund. That's where I would like to see him. I think it could help his style of play a lot better, having him be an all out attacker.
I would love him to join the Bundesliga. It's been a while since we've had a Mexican over there. Oh, and Rayados just scored their second goal. They're up 2-0 against Necaxa, 53rd minute. Yeah, so I would love to see him in the Bundesliga. As far as Dortmund, I don't know what their roster looks like right now. I know that they have quite a few young strikers, Adeyemi, Yusafa Mukoko, who ages beautifully on FIFA, by the way, and Malin as well. So they have quite a few forwards. I would like to, like, if you're gonna go to the Bundesliga, dude, you gotta go to Bayern, bro. You have to go to Bayern.
See, man, that's just a cop out, right? You go to Dortmund, grind it out, make them like just have them push you, and you push them to that next level. Bayern, you're coasting. So that's the difference there.
I just
Give me
I
a
just know he'd be
challenge.
lethal. I mean, they got Harry Kane now, so maybe not the best move. Um, for me, if I was to be like selfish, I would say, fuck it, dude. Go to Real Madrid. They could use a striker.
They could, and there's all that hype for him going to Real. But even he has said it. It's like there's been. Espérate, güey. Va a haber putazos en el de Pumas contra León ahorita.
Oh shit!
Se están calentando el diente.
I'm watching the Rayados game. I don't have the other game on.
Ah, la verga.
Hold on, I gotta check. Is it on VIX?
Yeah, it's on VIX, but El Diente like pretty much tries to do like a
Shit.
fucking like a leg lock on him. Y todo. No, ya se acabó, ya se acabó.
Ah.
It's un buen pique entre los dos. So we'll see what it develops for the rest. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where yes, I would love to see him in a big club, just not right now. Give him another step.
I see. Go to a mid-table team, a Valencia, Sevilla.
Oh no, God no! What the fuck is wrong with you? Like I said, give me an Atletico, give me a Dortmund.
I don't know if he fits Cholo's style though. Cholo likes everyone to defend, So I don't know if he would be if he
He
would
was
do
a
a
great defender under Siboldi, under shit, el que ganó el campeonato con Cruz Azul. Like that team was a defensive team, and they would constantly go back and defend under Caixinha. Same story. Cruz Azul was better when they lost a man under Caixinha, and they lost a man all the time.
yeah. Yeah.
So he's a good defensive player. Just don't send him somewhere where he's going to be constantly crucified. So, an Atletico, a Dortmund, even like, fuck, let's be honest, a Chelsea.
Oh, fuck Chelsea, dude.
Oh, no, I get it, but like that type of club to where it's like, you know what? You're in the third spot consistently. And having you in there can push them to that next level and push you to that next level.
Disco Fever says Dortmund, Tottenham, or Real Madrid, they all need a striker. The question with, Real Madrid is, I think we all saw Mbappe's reaction, Messi winning the Ballon d'Or. This dude knows that he needs to make a move in the summertime, and I think he's finally coming to Madrid.
Ooh, send my boy to PSG.
Oh, fuck that, dude. Why would you go to PSG, man?
I would
PSG
see
is
that.
toxic.
PSG is cursed. All right.
Nah, I don't want him to go to League One. I rather him go straight to Spain or the EPL. I don't want him to go to like an Arsenal. I don't even want him to go to my team, Manchester United. We're broken, like I don't want him to go there. And we could use him. We could definitely use him. Maybe like a Newcastle would be fun.
Where is Klopp teaching?
Klopp is at Liverpool.
I love Klopp's style, dude. I do like his style, but I feel like Liverpool is a stacked enough team to where he doesn't have enough room in there.
Yeah.
Also, score alert. Leon just scored. Tying the game 1-1 at the 59th.
Thank you for that update. Leon and Pumas, the felines going at it.
Because I like the intensity that Klopp plays with. So that could be that could be a good one. But no, like I said, Disco's pretty much spot on the money, right? I don't know about Tottenham. Me valen verga.
They're also
about
cursed.
that much. Yeah, exactly. And they're that team that just, it's like Cruz Azul way. They just can't seem to get it right. They have one cylinder that runs, but the other four are like misfiring, and when they kind of work, they start selling off.
Yeah, for sure.
So like the thing was, just a couple months ago, I was like, oh, why didn't Harry Kane leave? Very few players stay forever and like make their career at the club and become a club legend. It's like, yeah, but look at the teams and support that he had around him at said times.
It must be frustrating to be Harry Kane because, like, you've literally given blood for your country and club, and you have zero to show for it. You've won absolutely nothing. So it was about time he finally tasted success. Going to Bayern was kind of a cop out for him at that point of his career, but I get it, I don't think Tottenham were ever going to allow him to join another Premier League club, but he had to go. And he was so close to beating Alan Shearer's record, So, like, a lot of Englishmen thought that was a cop out. But, he's going to win a title with Bayern, and they'll probably have a deep run in the Champions League. So, I don't blame him for that move. With Santi, we'll have to see, but definitely go to a club where a striker is needed, like Disco said. But it's been a while since we had like a Mexican at a big club. I think we're due for one. The last time we had that was Chicharo, right? Like at Manchester United and then Real Madrid. It's been we're due as a fan base, as a country. I think we're finally due for a big move, a player playing in Champions League consistently and scoring goals consistently in a top 5 league. We just haven't had that in a long time since Raul was playing at Wolves before he got injured. But he even then he wasn't at a big club. He was at a mid-table bottom feeder.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like I can see the move to Real being a real move, right? Being a real thing that happens. But am I gonna be happy with it? Not really,
Why? Why
right?
would you be happy?
Bro, I just don't like Real in Barca. Just
Oh,
just not about it. It's once again, it seems like the easy move. Like, wait, pica piedra, no mames. But at the same time, being able to see him with that type of development that you would get under those wings, it'd be great.
I was watching the Clásico over the weekend, and Jude Bellingham, man, he is the real deal. They were down a goal. It looked like Barcelona were gonna come away with it, and kudos to Real Madrid, man. They were able to flip it. But I'll be honest, like this Real Madrid versus Barcelona like rivalry, it's been dead for a while. From an outsider's perspective, obviously, like if you're in Spain, if you live in Spain, it's still real. But from an outsider's perspective, it's like Messi and Ronaldo aren't there anymore. It's like you lost your two protagonists, and now it's like this new generation. It's not exciting anymore. There's no characters at Barca or Madrid.
That's exactly it. And it's just like I get the hype, I get the history, but what's going on? Even in the lower ranks, it's not like as attractive anymore, right? You have Luca who's old now. You have your stars who are getting old. Pero
I,
también, güey, soy un pendejo y solamente miro la Liga Mexicana. So, yo soy, este es mi mero mole y de aquí no salgo, ¿verdad? Although I do watch a lot of Libertadores. That's I value Libertadores more than I do Champions League. The passions there, this everything is so much better. It's closer to home. It's
yeah.
the style of football that I like, meaning that everyone can get a putazo at any given moment.
So I did some quick Googling. I was trying to find players that went directly from the Dutch league to Real Madrid specifically. And it's a very short list. Wesley Schneider from Ajax to Real Madrid. Roston Drenthe from Feyenoord to Real Madrid. Rafael van der Vaart. And no, actually, no, he did not go directly to Real Madrid. The last one was Klaas-Jan Huntelaar from Ajax to Real Madrid. So, like, none of these guys were. I would say Schneider was maybe somewhat successful at Madrid, but a lot of these guys flopped hard. It's just a big leap.
It is. Hence why I'm saying, like, I don't want to see him go directly there. Because, and we've talked about this, son los procesos, güey. Mexico always wants to jump forward. And that's not the thing. We need to develop Santi to get to the right point. So, what will that look like? Hey, go to the next club. You know what? Fucking smash it like you did for 2 years, and then jump again. That is how we'll get him to the point that he needs to be.
But who can afford 100 million release clause? I mean, he doesn't have a release clause, but who can afford like the money that Feyenoord are expecting? Like, there's not too many clubs that can afford him, dude.
That is true. That's where we're gonna get into the sticky situation, and that's where they might end up tying a noose around their own neck.
Joeli is back.
Ooh.
Joel,
What's up? What's up, dude?
you can hear us. Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were gonna
no,
make it.
I'm like a Diaz the other day that llegó para barrer. He came at closing, just he came to the after. I came in. You were saying who can afford 100 million?
Yeah, for Santi
You fucking
Jimenez.
Santi, Saudis, dude, the Saudi oil money.
No mames, güey. I've been trying, like
Oh,
that's been circling in the back of the mind, but no mames,
Oh, I don't think they can.
why are you trying to kill my boy like that?
Like to go to the Saudi Arabia League, you mean?
no,
Yeah.
no, they own no like the Qataris and different. They own stake in a lot of these clubs.
Oh yeah. So I threw out the Newcastle because Newcastle could do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, PSG, right? And I remember a few years ago, like maybe like 10, maybe longer, dude. It was a while back. But if you look at the Real Madrid crest, the OG crest, I don't know if they've changed it. Uh, so, it says it's the circle with a crown. And if you look at the crown, it has a little cross.
What are you talking about,
And
dog?
the Real Madrid, their crest.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you see their crest, it says it's the RM, it's the circle, and then it has like a crown on top of the circle.
Uh huh.
And if you're looking at the details of the crown, I believe in the middle is the cross. And so when they started getting funding from like the Middle East, they redid their crest, but I believe it was only for like that region, and the cross was removed.
Oh.
So
In
I mean,
2014, Real Madrid
it's
removed the Christian cross from its crest when used by its sponsor, the National Bank of Abu Dhabi.
there you go. See, and I mean, just goes to show that level of influence. And so I mean, they don't have to
Oh.
own the team. They don't have to own it, but you go own like stock, or you go own the stock in the player transfer. Like if you see the Tevez to Man City, I mean not Man City, Manchester United, and just how weird that whole transfer thing was. I don't think the club ever had like a hold on him. So you see stuff like that happen from time to time, um, especially with these transfers that it's just been like a few years back where they got out of hand. When you see, 80 million, 90 million, 100, it's 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 an exaggerated amount.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That is yeah,
That's
that's why I mentioned the Newcastle. I think they might have the money to get him.
I mean that's the reason why I mentioned PSV.
G?
PSG,
PSG,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah, sorry, PSG.
PSG. Those other guys, they'll pay what, like 5 million?
Yeah. No.
They'll
Those
buy a land.
brokies.
Yeah, they're not at that level, dude. But yeah, PSG, they brought Messi, they brought um, Neymar, they held on to Mbappe.
Well, the whole Mbappe deal is also slightly sponsored by the state of France. Like they
Yeah,
have money in there just to be able to hold on to him as a talent within
yeah. I
the
know.
country.
I think Real was the one that were tied to some bank. This was years back again too, where it was like heavy debt. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like the people in that bank were also like club club members. You know what I mean? They're socios.
Yeah.
Um, because like if you see Pumas, like Pumas has like a consejo. I don't know what you would call it in English. Like a committee that they have that runs the club.
Uh-huh.
Because it's the whole Pumas thing. It's like it's UNAM, Universidad,
Yeah.
the Mexican University, but they don't own the team, right? They own the stadium. They don't own the team. The team is like a separate entity. So when you see the committee of a lot of the people that sort of like provide the funding and run the club, basically, I think I'm not sure if all of them, but majority are all like they were former alumni of UNAM. But dude, they're tied to to big important companies,
They're all
banks and whatnot.
Freemasons is
And,
what
and
you're
it's
telling
always
me.
well, it could be, but it surprised me because I'm like, you guys could be putting way more money. Like, well, how are you guys have these ties to these banks and all these big companies and you're not, you know, you're not yeah, because I think one of the dudes was Banamex, and they just had them as a sponsor,
Yeah.
like in the shirt for years. I don't know if they still have them,
No.
and a lot of the sponsors are were people from the committee. But it always surprised me a bit. Never really been too much into Pumas to like go down the rabbit hole. But it always surprised me that they had
Oh, I think
fun with the team.
yeah. Disco
Yeah,
Fever says if Joel had it his way, he would have Santi Jimenez in the MLS.
no, no. I think Santi's to me special case. He just having his dad, just having his dad who was a pro for many years, and he knows how to navigate, and he knows, he knows the game. He knows
He's been paying
what's up,
Fabrizio Romano.
and well, whatever works. But I mean, he just that alone gives him a big advantage over a lot of players. Even Chicharo. I mean, if you see Chicharo, his dad was a professional, and also his
His
grandfather.
grandfather, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Three
and
generations
so
of
and then
football.
yeah, yeah. So they kind of already know what's up, and even when he went abroad, I don't know. I think his dad went with him.
His whole family
You
did.
know, his whole there you go. And so they know what to expect. They know what's up, and that makes a big difference from some of these players. Like I'm gonna use Vega as an example, just because he kind of he aired out his whole story, and it was how he just came from like a poor upbringing. Kind of wouldn't have like who would he have to turn to that could give him advice?
Yeah, he didn't have an agent. He didn't have anything.
Yeah, and if you guys saw the podcast, it's on. The podcast name, Jaime. It's someone, a former Chiva player.
Yeah, it's
He
Canelo
talks about
Angulo.
as soon as he got his contract. Yeah, dude, first contract he gets, he takes his family on a spending spree, and then which I'm not saying is bad, but I mean you kind of seen how he's already like throwing away his money. Um, and then when he's talked about he had enough to go buy a car, and he said, they had told him like just get a regular car, and this dude ends up leaving the lot with one of the most expensive ones they had in there, like a Beamer or something like that.
Oh yeah, dude. These guys don't know how to manage their money. They came from nothing, dude. So
Yeah,
that's
that's where I
that's also where
love.
the club fails. They should have resources available. Like, hey, like we're gonna help you with your finances and not being an idiot. I feel like as a club, you want to protect your investment, right?
Like you said, at the youth level,
Yeah, I
those
don't
are
know how
things that
much.
should be taught:
Yeah.
wealth management and how to avoid
What's
the
up
white
with
devil.
the white succubus? You mean?
That's
You'll go
it,
for that.
because she will suck you
You'll go
dry.
for the morra güera. Yeah. saw Marco Fabian in Germany, dude. He had a different Aryan goddess, dude, next to him. Every week he
Yes.
was getting photographed.
Sí, güey, pero no mames, that's a whole
Los,
different game.
los, los primero, my, they sucked all his powers, yeah, dude. He came back, yeah. He went from hat trick on Barca to can't even score on Puebla, and he lost his mojo.
He lost his mojo. They sucked him dry.
They sucked him.
They're like the Dementors in Harry Potter. They just suck the soul out of him. that's probably why he had so
Just
many
letting you
back
just going
problems,
on my
bro.
head.
Um, Disco Fever had some more comments. This was to give you some context. Well, I was asking,
Oh yeah.
we've been due for like a Mexican player playing at a big club, and we were talking about the possibilities of Santi going to Madrid, but Disco says Araujo is returning to Barca. He's currently loaned out at Las Palmas. Xavi wants him back. And then Edson is easily going to another club. Everyone in England is saying he is the revelation of the season. So yeah.
Oh nice.
Yeah, I just say like
Well, I must agree. It was too, man.
we're due for a big a big club. It's been a while.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of times it's not even that the players aren't talented. It's just sometimes you just don't have the right connections or whatnot. Like even those clubs, just how like you hear in Mexico how certain clubs are get players from the promoters, and it's the same. It's the same in Europe where you're more likely to get to a club if you're linked to certain promoters. Just like we saw the club where Jimenez was. What was it, like 7 players from the same promoter,
George
including
George
himself?
Mendes FC.
Yeah, including the coach. And
Yeah.
it's no different. It's really no different. I think even if because when I was like reading into the whole Bosman ruling, uh, so they like in Europe they were also doing Pacto de Caballeros. That's the kind of Bosman ruling is kind of what did away with that, where it's like if a player's contract ended, they couldn't leave on a free. The club could still negotiate them, and in many ways you could say that's good, but it sort of killed the small clubs because now all the mid and the higher clubs could just poach your players or take them for even cheaper than before that. When if you had a really good player, you could come up.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. We'll see where Santi ends up.
But I mean, and we don't. Yeah, I think he'll end up in. I mean, his goal ratio has just been insane. He's been very consistent, so he should end up minimum mid-table club in any of the big three. Eso es mínimo. What was it, Jaime? I missed the game. No Chivas played. They were 2-0. They were up. Was did they get the W versus Querétaro?
Absolutely, but not without a huge
But
a big scare,
but oh man, that's like that
Bro,
family, Jaime.
the
Remember the
last
cartoon
20
song?
minutes,
What happened the last 20 minutes?
Yeah, so Chivas
Pauno
go
hasn't learned his fucking lessons.
Chivas go down. A player, Ricardo Marin got a double yellow, and then from there, they basically parked the bus, and if it wasn't for Querétaro's incompetent strikers, a better club would have put those chances away, and we'd be looking at a tie or even a loss. So they were very lucky to
Mm,
walk away with the victory.
yeah, it's like that family, Jaime. Like when that family that goes to Acapulco, man. Like they get the car finally turns on, and it moves like 10 feet. It turns back off.
Yeah.
But it was weird, dude. So like,
It's-
Pauno didn't 100% park the bus. He put Yael Padilla in, who's more of a attacking player,
Yeah.
and that's where it went to shit. Because you took your players of experience that could slow down the game, who could park the bus, and you put
yeah,
el pinche correcaminos que quiere hacer lo más posible to keep a spot.
you mean he's doing what what are they calling this guy? Bucetich. What are they calling him? Something related to parking the bus. Oh man, well, but that was one of the big complaints when Bucetich was at the helm of Chivas, that he kept parking the bus, that he kept being very ultra defensive.
Uh,
I think they came to the same conclusion, dude.
I was I mentioned this very early in the podcast, but an observation that I had of today is that Alexis Vega did not travel with the team, which I'm just assuming that he's under house arrest. He's obviously not a player that can be trusted on the road, staying in hotels and on all that. It's like that one song, I got hoes in different area codes. I'm sure he's got his
The same place.
so like
They had to book him in a different hotel, dude. He gets, and then the other team somewhere else. But he's even at 100. I knew he had been dragging an injury.
Yeah, I mean, he was dragging an injury, and then he had that orgy in Toluca, and Chivas publicly said that he's been reinstated with the team, but he was not called up for this match. He didn't even make the trip, and that's where I'm just like, putting the puzzle pieces together and just saying, yeah, he's on house arrest, dog. Like he's not allowed to travel with the team. And I'm curious to know if this is something that will continue to be reinforced in Liguilla, right? Because in Liguilla, dude, like he's gonna have
Yeah,
to travel with the team. So maybe he's just on probation for the regular season. We'll see.
yeah, that's what sucks about Chivas. Where it's hard to just a player like that. Even though he hasn't been at his best, but he could still. He has a talent that he could win you a game.
Most of all, when you don't have that deep of a roster, you need him.
Yeah, he's not a player that you can just like leave leave out for too long,
If you know,
especially if you're losing.
yeah,
Like, what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna turn to when you're down? Like, you need someone like that that can change the game, change the course of the game. It's just with the discipline issues that he's having. But if you're Chivas, dude, like you also have to think about the club and if you are gonna try and offload him, well, he's losing value by him not playing, right? So it's like you're hurting yourself twice. Like you're not being able to take advantage of him because you're not playing him, and then you're also degrading his value, any value that he had left. So it's like why would you sabotage yourself?
yeah, you're completely right, man. And it sucks for Chivas because this guy was called to be their iconic player, World Cup, and then in line to go to a second World Cup, and this time as more of a key player within the national team, and then to see his level fall, and then on top of that, all of this madre he's doing, it's like that. That's good. Um, shit, man.
Here's
Goddamn
my
Greek tragedy right
question.
there.
Now that I have y'all here,
Yep.
is does Pauno survive? Because he clearly hasn't learned his lesson. All right, like after the
Well,
performance that he put in today, of like making the right changes. Like why did you take out your best players? Like
He frustrates
so
me.
how much patience are you gonna have on with him?
He's shown that he
I mean,
cannot handle matches against big clubs. You know, we have look what America did to us. Look at what Tigres did to us. Like these are not just tight, these are 4-0 goleadas, embarrassing results. So he has not figured out how to play against big clubs. And honestly, it makes me really question what the fuck happened last season. How the fuck did we get to the final, dude? It's like, how is this team the same team from last season? It doesn't make sense to me. It was like some
And that's
witchcraft.
and that's the follow up. So then was last season a fluke? Because I very much so remember you guys like, no way, we're gonna be back and this and that. And even I
no,
said, I was
it's
like, I
not a
don't think
fluke.
so.
I mean, because we have to season, you know, a lot of these teams end up investing more money and bringing in players and coaches, and so they build on what they had, and that's always been what has hurt Chivas, where it's been difficult for them. They'll bring one or two players, and when they should be bringing in between four and five, they'll bring in one or two, and then on top of that, they're losing three. You know, I've got to go back to that Familia Jaime. Once the car starts going, there's like a hole on the side, and there's gasoline. Just, oh man, I, you guys need to watch that, man. That's pretty much Chivas. That truck. The truck's always breaking down. There's something wrong with it. Um, but that's kind of Chivas right there, man. They really do need to be bringing in between four and five players with experience. They usually just they'll bring like one, and then they'll see who they can find at the youth, and that's always going to be very difficult. Like look at America, they bring in Quinones, top three player in the league. And
Yeah, but
Chivas had
the problem is the news that Chivas ties around their own neck. The whole only we play con Mexicanos, where you don't even
oh
recognize naturalizados.
yeah,
Because you
that's
guys
been
could have
my
had
thing.
Santi.
I don't know. Well, his dad was very tied to Cruz Azul. Why would he? Maybe when he's like 35,
No, because
that's like too nice to
he was
retire.
offered as part of the trade, as one of the trades with Piojo
Oh,
Alvarado.
I don't think so. He
He
was
says you got
born
to
in
invest.
okay.
he was born in Argentina. He's not eligible to play for Chivas.
Hence why I said you don't even recognize naturalizados.
That's one of my takes. I don't know if it was a year or two ago, but I do feel like if Chivas were to stay at the level they are in now, which is one championship every 10 years, I mean, they're eventually gonna end up. Right now, they're just behind America, but you can't maintain that. You know, if you stay like that, eventually you're gonna drop to like fifth or sixth in the pecking order of campeonatos, and at that point, it's like you kind of do have to start being more competitive, and I do see that as a possibility. Probably they'll be more picky about it, not just because you just became maybe but naturalizados in the along the lines of like a Quinones that was in Mex since he was 18, or even Santi, who's like his dad had his whole career there and he lived there as a kid. I could see that happening.
Ooh, Rayados just scored a golazo, 3-0, 90th minute. That is,
Who are they play, Jaime?
they're playing Necaxa. So that is the nail in the coffin for Necaxa, who's in last place. And Rayados, man, coming back from that 3-0 loss they
They
had.
lost Jaime.
Yeah,
And they're missing what, like three players? They lost like
they lost a lot of players, dude. They lost the Spanish guy, Canales.
yeah. And then their new goleador that was killing it in the league stuff.
Bertame, who he's
Yeah,
back,
Messi.
man.
Wait, he's back already?
Yeah, he scored. He scored today.
Oh shit! I thought he was gonna be gone for like until next year. That must be the Spanish dude then.
Yeah, Canales is the one that was out. Yeah, Germán
Yeah, I know they
Bertrame.
had.
He got injured in Leagues Cup, but he's back now. He just scored today. So,
I know they had Fallos Mori injured
and I know
or just playing with
Mori
one
and
leg.
Tecatito. Yeah, dude, they're pretty banged up.
I forgot about the Catito. I
I
forgot
know,
about that guy.
dude. They have squad, dude. People fucking sleep on Rayados.
Nah,
Yes.
to me, they were one of the candidates to win it.
It's that Regio money, bro. Like I said, like with Regios, they're in it to win it, right? They have their own little market, their own rivalry. It's Regios versus the world, and they're doing it. Their teams, dude. Trust me, Necaxa would fucking kill to have their bench.
Oh yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
because that would be their starting players.
Yeah, for
Either
sure.
of those clubs.
Yeah, trying to analyze Chivas last season, how they got to the final. They lost to Atlas 1-0, then they won at home. And so they tied, but they went on aggregate because of their finishing the table a little bit higher. And then, we had that crazy comeback against America, right? And then that's it. You go to a final. Like, it's really not that hard to get to a Liga MX final. All you have to do is get on a hot streak at the right time.
That's exactly it. Now, what about the rest of the season, though? Like, at what point did that like breeze come in? Y luego se apareció la Rosa Blanca. Like,
they finished
did
in
that
third
change
place,
happen?
so they were pretty consistent throughout the season. But then, when it came to Liga, they just had another switch. And this season, they had a great start, right? They had a great start to the season. Leagues Cup fucked everything up, the momentum and all that. And since then, it's been very inconsistent. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We do have Cruz Azul next. And I know you've been talking shit. I've been talking shit. You don't want that smoke on Saturday, dog.
Wild smoke way. Your asshole's already been dilated. Like, don't worry about it. It just makes it easier for us to slide in.
I think it's gonna be a good measuring stick for us because Cruz Azul are bottom half of the table. We had a win and a loss in the last 7 days, so with Cruz Azul, it's like I think it's a good test.
I'm interested to see what happens. See who has it. Who's playing at home?
Yeah, so the game is gonna be in El Acron on Saturday.
All right, so I gotta find my local Telemundo station.
Yes, sir, Telemundo. And then Chivas will finish the season against Pumas on the road.
Who just tied 1-1 against Leon.
Yep, and Rayados ended up closing 3-0 against Necaxa. So those are match week 15 results. There are some more matches tomorrow to finish off this. We have Atlas Pachuca, Cruz Azul Juárez, Mazatlan Santos, San Luis America, and Xolos versus Tigres. As far as the standings go, America's in first place, 33 points. Tigres in second with 28. Rayados with 26. These results are pending because, Rayados just won. So I think they might have just gone up to second place. And then Chivas in fourth with 24. San Luis in fifth, 22 points, but their last 5 games they've lost 4. And then Pumas in 6 with 22 points. So that is the 6 guaranteed spots. And then for the play-in, you have Toluca, Tijuana, León, and Juarez. Oh, Joel, we didn't get to ask you about Nacho Ambriz. How do you feel about his departure?
Oh, disappointing, man. Just like that, I thought Toluca would at least give him to the end of the season. So it sucks to see Nacho go out like that. I felt that was a good club for him. That he was, I guess he was never able to win over the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Abdia said that they got into like a heated argument.
they pressed him as
The
for the
players and
results.
Nacho
No, the
or
directiva.
the directiva. Oh,
They pressed him as
oh,
to the
they
results,
were
and
demanding that.
it became a shouting match. And as they say in English, it's my way or the highway. So get the fuck out. And he did.
Damn.
Ahora, now here's the one thing to remember: Monterrey still has to make up one more game.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So they still have a chance to go higher on the rankings.
Wow. So they have Pachuca, Santos, and Querétaro.
Yup.
And
So
Santos have they've only played 13 games. How does that work?
I no sé, güey.
So they have 4 games left. That's crazy.
So yeah, that's the Mexican League, boys. It's still any man's game.
It's anyone's game. Mathematically, Cruz Azul still have a chance to get into the play-in.
That's it,
Feeling
man.
confident. Yeah.
Wait, we're going up against a shit team in the weekend, so
Oh.
tengo miedo.
Shit team. All right, man.
All right, I can't wait to watch you guys shit yourself in the last 20 minutes. Y luego vamos a hablar de cosas azuleadas. Because at this point, bro, Chivas is doing a pretty good job with them.
All I know is Antuna will probably score a goal.
Cool. And it's gonna be beautiful.
And it's gonna
bro.
be a fucking golazo. I already know, dude. It's that karma.
Not just that, it's not just is it gonna be a banger, he's gonna celebrate it like
Oh,
woo.
yeah.
Just the way Marco Fabian celebrated after he got a blow from those Germans. Like it's on top of the world, just like y todos, güey. Todo el pinche estadio is gonna be like, te odio, puto. I wish you were still here.
Yeah, Antuna, man, the most hated Mexican, I think.
For reals, like he is the bad guy of any movie. Like why? I don't know. Just he's no one likes him, but yet here he is making you shut the fuck up. Like I still don't understand why Chivas hates him so much. Like it's just him. Like all of the other players have passed by. I don't think there's that much animosity except for him.
Well, with Antuna, it's his comments after the transfer, right? Like, obviously, he had disciplinary issues when he was at Chivas, broke COVID protocol, and he was just one of those guys that were kind of like a locker room problem. And then, after he leaves, then he starts throwing us under the bus, and so it's easy to hate him, man. It's easy.
I hear that it's the teeth.
That is Elbro. He hates his teeth.
I love him, bro. Like I just love what he generates around him and this whole little like rivalry and bickering from his ex club.
It definitely like riles him up and gets him energized, you know, so whatever works for him, it's working.
That's the one.
There's a tweet saying that Fulham have made an strong offer for Santi Jimenez.
Bolton?
Fulham.
Fulham.
Yeah, where Santi Jimenez, where Raul Jimenez is actually.
Damn, bro, brown on brown crime, huh?
It's crazy because he really hasn't. I forgot Raul was there, man. He just hasn't been playing.
I mean, I've said this before. Like, do you field a cripple? All right. The pitch isn't handicap accessible, so se chingó.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bro. He'll come back to Chivas soon.
Oh, you know, as
Come back to Chivas.
as
He was
pathetic
never at Chivas.
as pathetic as that sounds, I could see some stupid shit like that happen.
Mm-hmm.
We need a striker, dude.
No mames, güey. If that happens, me cago de risa.
I don't think Raul would go though. You think he would go?
To Chivas? Bro, no one wants to go to Chivas.
Yeah.
You think Raul Jimenez, you know, I don't know.
Here's
man.
what I'll say. I think you guys are closer to getting Chicha than you are
Oh, dude.
to getting Raul Jimenez. Because Chicha doesn't have a contract as of right now. For
He also doesn't have any hair.
Bro, that's the saddest thing. That's why your bitch left you, bro. Like,
Oh, bro, I saw that photo of Chicharito. I'm like, holy shit, man. You are not. You are aging like milk.
like I was watching the actually I was on Twitch trying to find the stream for the Cruz Azul Santos match, and I saw that he was on, so I was like, a ver, and I came on and I just saw it and I was like, no mames, way, like, bro, you got money.
Call of Duty.
Oh no, he was like doing his. It was very early on. He was like his intro and shit, and they asked him, was like, hey, so are you coming back to like Galaxy? Is like, oh well, right now there's, we don't have anything set in stone. I want to come back, but it's still all up in the air. And all I can think about is like, god damn, bro, Elon Musk brought back his hairline. Like, do something, right? Like, damn, bro, my wife and I have an agreement. Like, once the hairline's gone, she's gone too. Like, you can treat me bad. You can be an asshole, but you can't be bald.
Damn. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld, and there's an episode where George gets a toupee, and then he's like on a date with a girl, and then he finds out that she's bald, and then he's like, I can't be dating someone that's bald. But dude, man, that is a life lesson for anyone watching. Like, this is what happens when your circle of people that you surround yourself by are leeches and toxic and have bad intentions, because he knocked up a supermodel who is obviously superficial, like doesn't really give a shit about it. There was no love there. That was just lust. Then you have a fucking life coach who completely brainwashed you and isolated you from your family and your friends, and then fucked your wife, and then this is what happens, bro.
Damn.
You're just like a former shell of yourself. Now you don't have a job. You don't have a hairline. You're a deadbeat father, dude. It's like,
The best thing you have going for you is a Twitch stream. That's sad, bro.
I mean, he got back with the girl, no? He got back with his. I don't know if they got divorced, but he married her. Um, and then I think last I heard, he was back with her, no?
I think they're co-parenting now, but I don't think they're like together. I think they're just raising their kids.
What a fucking simp.
Yeah, so I mean, if he was to return to Chivas, like I'll be honest, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because prior to his injury, he was looking good. He was scoring goals. And he's a player that doesn't really rely on his speed. He's a player that relies on his positioning. And I think at Chivas, he would have a great run.
Let's be honest, just a few months ago before his injury, everyone wanted him back at Chivas. They're like, Chicharito to Chivas.
Yeah.
Chicharito a las Chivas.
I wanted him back at the Selección, bro. When we were having a striker crisis, I'm like, I wanted him to go to the World Cup. I was like, dude, this guy is scoring every single game. Like, we have a striker that's not. Let's just replace him. Like,
We have two strikers that are not.
yeah,
Like,
dude.
change them. Pero nada, güey. So I do think you guys are very close to getting Chicha.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I always dreamed of him coming back. I always expected him to come back after, he went to Manchester. I'm like, I know he'll come back. He'll come back one day. But we're running out of time, man. We're running out of hair. Disco Fever says, did anyone hear how Guti had an offer to go to Betis, but he didn't go because he didn't want the Euro passport? He was a moron for going to Chivas.
Wait, he didn't want a EU passport?
I don't know. Maybe he didn't, because he was in Europe long enough to qualify for a
Yeah, but
Euro.
you have to be you have to be in like, depending the country, right? So I think,
No, dude,
uh,
he was at PSV for a long time, no?
no, but I'm saying it depends the country. So like if you're Latin American, and you go to Spain, I think it's less years. So like um, but I think I think for Ochoa when he was in France, I don't know if it was 5 or 6 years that he needed to make. And I think he would have been in his last year when he decides to go to Spain. And like
Oh
kind of
yeah,
messed up for him right there. I would have just stayed, dude. It was one more year. Get your EU passport. You
yeah,
would have probably had better clubs.
yeah. He
And
was in the Dutch
for
league for
Lala,
5 years.
but so I don't know what the how long you have to be for some of those other countries because they're all a little bit different.
Just a missed opportunity. It's
But
cool.
I don't think it's along the lines of I don't want the passport. We were talking about this last podcast where it's like you have to see these contracts the same way these guys see them, where it's you're looking to the next 3 4 years of your career of your life, and so it's like if he's gonna make double the amount of Chivas, then he's better off coming to Chivas because he has family to feed. He's going up there in age, and you have to start seeing what you're gonna do after retirement. So I mean, you could stay in Europe and and hope to see if you get a better contract. But if you don't, those are 3 years that went by, and you technically you lost the money.
I googled it. It says it takes a foreigner at least 5 years to get a Euro passport in the Netherlands. This is because foreigners must first become Dutch citizens, and to become a Dutch citizen, you have to live in the Netherlands legally for 5 years. Um,
Yeah,
apart from it being integrated into Dutch society, pass a civic integration exam, have a good conduct certificate. Once a foreigner has met all those requirements, they can apply for Dutch citizenship. It takes about 6 months to complete, and then they can apply for a Euro passport. So at least five
that's a
years.
that's a difficult language to learn, Dutch.
It
It's
sounds
I think
like I don't know how to describe it.
it's
It's very interesting.
well, it's like in Spain. I think if you're from Latin America, it's between 2 and 3 years. And I think if you could prove some ancestry, uh, it's probably even faster. So if you have like some abuelo or something, so like Borghetti had Italian passport, and so did the Nigris. They were their,
They were white
their
Mexicans.
grandparents, which was the whole beauty of the Borghetti goal, his course against Italy. That when he hits it, when it to me the best Mexico I've ever seen, dude. And then who he scores it against? He had
Buffon.
Maldini. I, I think Nesta was also like right there, and fucking Buffon.
It's like the
and
fucking Cerberus three-headed dog, man.
That's true, man. You got right past him, dude.
And I mean, that's one of my favorite World Cup goals. Not even Mexican World Cup goals, World Cup goals, bro. That is one of the best goals I've. I mean,
Yeah. Or
that.
two, right? Yeah, it was a two,
Dude.
and it was like 16 touches on the ball.
Okay, so Disco Fever said, for Betty's slot, he had to give up the Mexican passport. I don't know. I guess he didn't
Right?
want to give it up. Like, can you not have
Give
like
up the Mexican
two passports though? Like, you can't have like
Yeah, I
a.
think you can.
Yeah,
I
I was
do
about to
think you
say.
can. Mexico allows it. There's a lot of people that have
Yeah.
the
I
U.S.
have it.
citizens and have the Mex passport. You have the Mex passport
Yeah.
so you had to like show you had to drink a case of Coronas and
Look,
prove that
bro,
you were invited to a carne asada with it.
they told me not to tell people, but you have to smash a case of Tecate Roja. That's the real test. You have to be able to do the carne asada, pero que se te queme un poquito, pero no mucho, ¿verdad? Just enough to eat it. And the third one, which is the hard one, te tienes que echar un guapango. If you can do all three, you're in.
I think I think you like if you have your parents' birth certificate, you just go to the consulate, and I think
Yeah.
that's all you need. You just a Mexican consulate, and as long as one of your parents was born in Mex,
I
yeah,
mean,
you
my
got it, dude.
parents, ¿qué pedo, güey? Me oigo gringo o qué? I have mine.
So I just show up and they see the nopal in my forehead, and they
That's it.
stamp it. I Dude, it was years back when you had all those hijacking. I wanted to get my Mex passport, like in case they hijacked the plane. They were like the terrorists would collect passports. I'll just take out my Beaner passport. It's all right. You're good to go, dude. We're just we're just throwing the Americans out.
Bro, I love traveling with my Mexican passport. It's the best thing, especially when you go back to Mexico. Because on the airplane, they'll be like, "Oh, you gotta fill out all this paperwork.
Right. Nope.
If you don't do this," I'm like, "Ha, estás pendeja." I get back and they're like, "Welcome home." I was like, "Ah, this is what I'm about."
Oh, you switch them. You when you're coming in the U.S., you use the U.S. passport, and when you're going into
Um,
Mexico, you use the Mex passport.
Can you
yeah.
do that though?
Um, you can, nomás te la hacen un poquito más de pedo. What I always tell them is that I forgot my card at home, so I just use the two passports. The other one that I'll do is because I have a real ID. I use my real ID. I show the Mexican passport and the real
Ah,
ID together, and I do it that way.
Hmm.
damn, está cabrón, no?
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, can you leave the United States, or like land in Mexico with your Mexican passport, but then land in U.S. with the U.S.
Yeah,
passport? Because they'll
yeah,
be
you
like,
can do
wait,
it.
what? Like, they won't see your check out stamp or check in stamp. I don't know how that works.
No, they don't even look for that, bro.
Oh,
Honestly, all that they look for on your passport is whether you have an American visa or like that it's recent,
yeah.
right? So you just do it that way.
It's like,
And then a lot of people are like, "Yo, why do you still have your Mexican passport?" It's like, because if I ever want to fuck around and find out, and I want to go, and I want to go visit fucking Israel, I can go do it. If I want to go visit fucking Iran, I can do it. And I can go to fucking Myanmar, aka Burma, where the U.S. isn't allowed to go, but I can. And they're like, I wait. I was like, exactly. They're like, but Burma's dangerous. I was like, wait, soy de Reynosa. Like, que no saben?
Oh yeah, here it is. Look for Spain. So I looked it up, and it does say for Spain. You, see, and then for Spain, it's 10 years of legal residency, unless you are from in these countries that were, I guess, under Spanish rule. So it says Spanish American countries, 2 years. But it says here, it is required to commit to renounce your previous nationality.
oh,
That's what they say, but Mexico will allow you to do too. The American ones do the same.
Yeah,
Like
I
in
don't
order,
think Mexico gives a shit. You know what I mean? I don't think they would.
oh. So is that what he meant? That like, in order for him to get his.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I see.
Did
like
he say that?
technically, I had to renounce my Mexican citizenship, and then as soon as I got sworn in, I went to my consulate and got everything back.
Nah, so let's. I see what you mean. He could have probably done the same, right? He could have just said, "Yeah, I renounce it," and then you could still go and then you go to Mex, and Mex just gives you another one. And like the Spanish are checking up on you.
For sure, folks. We're at the 2 hour mark. I want to give everyone their opportunity to have their closing thoughts for this double jornada.
I'll go first. First, I want to say, welcome to the righteous path. I understand you were mistaken. We all make mistake. All right, but welcome to the Santi Club. All right, as long as you
Oh,
understand the
I'm not a
game,
no club dog. No.
yo, as long as you can respect and understand what's being shown before you, that's okay. Because before you were just sounding ignorant. So I'm happy that you're here. Welcome. Let's take this ride together for the next couple years and see what happens. All right,
Have a nice
and
trip. We'll see.
exactly. Buckle up. It's gonna be bumpy. And then the other one, pues no hay pedo, güey. We'll see each other over the weekend, and
Ooh.
me la vas a mamar. So
I don't
don't
think
worry about
so.
it.
Should be a good one on Saturday. Joel, what you got for me, man?
Oh man, just very little, dude. I think just with you, it's been a fun ride. I didn't get to see my take on the Pau Neta, which is like that wagon. Um, I see them reaching Liguilla. I don't think Chivas gets rid of him. Uh, he's he he's doing one thing right, working with a lot of the youth. I think it gets overlooked. That can be difficult task to navigate. I'm beginning to see a lot of similarities now with Buse, where he was getting criticized for parking the bus or becoming too defensive, and then it was being overlooked how many youth players he was debuting or how many he was playing. But I think that's going to help the club in the long run because they're obviously not buying players, so they have to make their own, and that's pretty much how you make them, just playing them week in week out. But it's a it can take 2 3 years to see results, but you know, so that's basically it. I mean, that's that's my main take on that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. Um, I have two things, two announcements. Number one, as far as Disco Fever says, my closing thought: Cantina MX Pod needs Ricardo. It's funny. I've never seen Ricardo and Disco Fever in the same room, so maybe you guys are the same person.
This
Uh,
is burner account.
that's his burner account. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll have Ricardo on the next episode. Looking forward to the Cruz Azul match on Saturday. Although I might not watch it because I'm going to a Sharks game, which I think starts at the around the same time. But I'll be keeping an eye on the match. Um, as far as the Sante Jimenez thing, hey, look, like I gave him his flowers tonight. He finally became a man, scoring in the Champions League, scoring 2 goals against Lazio. That's what I was looking for. We'll see how he does in the next the rubber match. They play Lazio again next week on the 7th. So, hopefully he continues to do well in Champions League. And I just can't stand the fans surrounding Santi Jimenez, the nut riders. Those are the people that I have my beef with now. So let's just take it day by day. The other thing for our listeners, unfortunately, Spotify has switched up their sponsorships. So, if you guys have listened to us in the past, we had a plug with them. That is no more. But we do have a merch store. We just put it up a couple weeks ago. So cantinamx.com. You can go there, support us that way. We have some stickers, some hats, some beanies. I just ordered a hat myself. I got it in today. Very happy with it. It's a very nice quality. It's not like the cheap stuff, and it's all stitched on there. So if you want to support the podcast, check it out on cantinamx.com. Want to thank everyone for joining us tonight on Halloween. So it was a fun one. We'll see what happens over the weekend. And of course, we will catch y'all in the next one. Have a great night. All right, Disco, thank you for your closing thoughts today. Of course, your support always on YouTube. And I'll try to get Ricardo on the show next week. Not sure what happened to him.